Well, good morning everyone, and this speech today is titled, or the meeting today is Brexit Beyond, but if you look at the many variants that everyone seems to be putting up as what they would like to see as their type of Brexit, then you could more or less entitle this 50 Shades of Withdrawal. However, it's good to see so many of you here this morning, especially when you've probably heard about Brexit this week already. And as I've said many times, engagement between government and business is key to our successful economy and in managing our reputation as a reputable business centre. And therefore I'm really grateful to Chris and his team at the Chamber for inviting me here today and with the team to have a discussion with you. I suppose the Isle of Man is part of the UK's immigration system as a whole, and this will continue after it leaves the European Union. Now, the UK has been very clear that leaving the EU means the ending of the automatic right of EU citizens to live and work in the UK. However, they have not yet set out the exact means by which EU citizens will be able to come to the UK to work in the future. What they have said, though, is that they would wish to have an immigration system that focuses on the skills that people can bring rather than their country of origin. Now, we know that immigration is economically important to the island, and we know that we need to continue to grow our working population, and that continues to be a priority for us. It's something I've regularly stated when I've been away in Westminster, that the Isle of Man needs to have as few hurdles as possible to the immigration of our island. It's why I worked really hard to find a work permit solution to the problems that you were telling me about. We have been very clear that all EU and EEA nationals currently living and working in the Isle of Man will have their right to remain here protected. Our settlement scheme is on track to go live in March, and there is detailed information on how this will work on the immigration section of our website. Well, as I said in my speech, we have an agreement with the United Kingdom because we did see this coming. Obviously, there will be a little bit of panic buying at the moment when you have to look at the social channels where people are saying, well, you need to buy this because this is what we think will be short. And I'm afraid we always thought that would happen. The Department of Health and Social Care are, in their monthly meetings, I've made all departments plan for a no-deal Brexit. That's always been my position, that we prepare for the worst possible outcome, and therefore the Department of Health and Social Care have been preparing for this for a while now. You can't guarantee 100% that we're going to have all medicines available on the island, but we have been looking at where we get our medicines from the European Union and where we get our medicines from the rest of the world, and how can we replace those orders and redirect them to other countries. So I suppose there will be an element of panic buying, but we have been categorically promised by the UK that we are not the end of the supply chain. We are part of the UK from that basis. We will just have to keep on continuing to ensure that we do our best and are as well prepared as possible.
I think it's important to remember that there hasn't been any change up until now into the actual process by which drugs are delivered to the UK, so the effects we're seeing are actually purely a reflection of changes in people's behaviour. So what we need to do is to assure people that in the Isle of Man we're not, I think as is perceived, the end of the supply chain, as the Chief Minister says. We're part of the UK system and will be treated equally.
We've actually been working with UK colleagues and politicians around what our future relationship might be with the EU under the UK's arrangement. And when we started our pre-thinking around what Brexit may look like, which was probably the April before the referendum in June, we identified that there could be a number of opportunities. We put that down as one of our key aspects alongside risk. As the 2.5 years have unfolded, we have held back on identifying opportunities. We've worked with a number of you in this room, we work with the Chamber, but until there's a clear direction of travel, we're not sure that we can clearly identify those opportunities because of our underlying concern about what those opportunities may mean in terms of obligations. There may be new opportunities, but with new opportunities will come some balance of responsibility. So just want to put that caveat out there as well. Once we get into what the new normal will be, that will be an ideal time, we feel, for us in Cabinet Office and DFE to work with a number of you to see what may emerge from that, and that's where we have been fleet of foot over the years when we've looked at the diversification of our economy. Well, I think in summary the answer is yes, Natasha. I mean, a number of our employment rights are in Isle of Man employment law anyway. If, as we start to unpick 45 years of our legislation, which I can assure you is a really fascinating task at the moment, but it has to be done, if we were to find something that would not be was appropriate or was something that we felt our employees on the island deserved, I'm sure we would want to make that amendment, or trade unions would come to us, or employer organisation would come to us. So in summary, yes, but with the caveat that as we start to look at these things in detail, I can't say that there isn't anything that's going to not come to light, but give you the assurance that that's not the way the Isle of Man government wants to operate in respect of providing rights and proper employment conditions for island employees.
Yeah, we've been through the entire Isle of Man statute book. Oh, well, we haven't. We've asked other people to do it. And they've examined where EU measures are referenced, where UK measures which implement EU measures are referenced, and each of those has been checked through. They will be amended and preserved in order to maintain current conditions. Some of the work that people are doing in various different departments will depend on what the ultimate settlement is between the UK, so it's not all entirely clear, but the majority of the work has been done. And you'll see regulations coming forward to, hopefully, to next Tynwald and the one after, and potentially beyond the end of March, which will make corrections to the Isle of Man statute book to allow for exit.
You see how the civil servants neatly drop away from the politician. Well, I have always said, and I sincerely hope to be proved wrong, that institutional stubbornness will cause a no-deal hard Brexit.
Wow. That Brexit will happen with a deal, or Brexit won't happen with a deal?
Whatever you're prepared to speculate on, Della.
I will speculate that the UK will leave the EU.
Different matters ever.
She's been watching too many episodes of Yes Minister, hasn't
she? David?
I agree. The referendum was held and the people of the UK voted to leave the UK, so I think that will happen.
Just a thank you to the Chief Minister for the offer to answer the questions that have been unanswered this morning. There has been a lot of interest, as you can see, and the session was a little bit too short for all the questions, so thank you for that offer. I'd like to formally thank the Chief Minister, Della Fletcher, David Corlett, MMMC and Bex and Kieran for their participation this morning. So can we do that in the usual way, please?